Welcome to Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm your host, Lindsay Williams, a self-development mentor, entrepreneur and author, dedicated to helping busy mums like you manifest success, balance and create passive income on your terms. With years of experience in mindset, manifestation, fitness, parenting and business growth, I share simple yet powerful strategies to help you transform your life without the overwhelm. If you're ready to up-level your mindset, build a thriving business and create the life you truly deserve, you're in the right place. You can also find all my books on Amazon, packed with tools to help you manifest and grow. So don't forget to follow the podcast to be updated on all new episodes. And let's get going. Welcome back to the podcast. How is everybody doing? It is Friday today and I have had the best night ever. Last night I actually went out with my mum. We did a road trip to Manchester and I met my friend Stephen in actual person. So Stephen was on my podcast, series 2. I met Stephen, I think being in the podcast world and being online, I just came across him, I think it was on another lady's podcast. And I just started following his story and I just, you just get invested and you get to know somebody and we started speaking and we became friends and we just speak all the time. And he was coming up to Manchester, which is not far from me, in Preston. And he had a show on, The Shadowed Dreamer. And it's amazing. If you don't follow Stephen on YouTube, he's over there and his name is Heart Talks. If you go and find him. If not, I'm going to pop his link in the show notes. And it was just incredible. So I went early on. I thought, well, I'll spend a couple of hours together, have some lunch, just chill, just unwind, and just experience the show. And I just had to come on here and just say that, the power of connections. And if I hadn't manifested my podcast, I probably wouldn't have got closer to Stephen and got to know his story. Because the online world, there is a lot of negatives on the online world, but there's also a lot of positives as well. Connections, meeting people, growth, just knowing other human beings. It's just amazing. I love meeting people all the time. And I probably wouldn't have ever met Stephen in my whole life. But so you don't always, I navigate myself a lot around women because I'm a hairdresser and I'm doing my podcasting and it's busy mum. Stephen listens to the podcast as well. But it doesn't mean that men can't listen to the podcast. I have a lot of different guests on the podcast, which will cater for a lot of other people. So it doesn't really matter. We can have friends anywhere across the world. And it's good that you just build those friendships and you carry those friendships on. And supporting each other is a big thing for me. And I will do anything to support other fellow, people like YouTubers, podcasters, people in business. It's just what I'm about. It's just me. And I won't change the way I am anyway. So I had the best time. I went to 53.2. in Manchester and it was just really quaint, it's just nice, it just felt really good. And it was all like under the bridge as you're going into Manchester, Deansgate, and it was all brick. It was just really nice. It was just got a really bougie feel. It was just really nice. Can't explain, you've got to go. And yeah, we had something to eat and yeah, it was just really nice just to listen. I'm not going to give his story away because it's Stephen's story, but it is just powerful listening to somebody else, and I'm such an advocate for the people and then people that spread awareness and people that will help other people all over the world. If you can change someone's life by doing what Stephen does, it's just incredible. My mum was in tears. I just didn't look at my mum. I know a bit about Stephen's story anyway, so it isn't a shock factor when you already know somebody, but my mum kind of didn't. She kind of followed him a little bit and listened to him on the podcast, but it's nice for mum to actually experience that completely different to me. I just came home and I was buzzing all night. I just couldn't sleep and I was like, oh my God. So, but yeah, it's good that I've had a bit of a couple of days off this week and did first 2 days in the salon and yeah, it's first day recording today. I just think sometimes we need a little bit of time. I'm constantly working all the time. I do feel a little bit guilty not working. I haven't got a clue what day it is, but it is half term and usually we was going to go away. But we decided not to go because we got a new settee and we just wanted to experience that. But that new settee has made me relax even more. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's amazing. And we've all just been loving it and watching lots of movies. But why should I feel guilty? Why should we feel guilty for relaxing? Especially as mums, we need to relax and just chill out now and again. So I've just embraced it, and my mum's like, Lindsay, just relax, just have a few days. I've not felt 100% this week, so it's nice that I've just given myself that time. And we're like at time of the month, sometimes we just feel like groggy, and I'm usually running around in the salon, and your back aches. You just want to wear. I've got some fresh pajamas on today. I've had a shower, some fluffy socks, and I've just answered the door to the postman. I was like on the ring doorbell saying, "Can you leave the parcel in the porch?" And he was like, I need a signature. And I'm like, "I've got my pajamas on." And he was like, "That's fine." So he just laughed. It was only a young guy, and he was like, "Why not?" And I thought, well, it's only Friday. It's not even Saturday. We have this thing, don't we? Like Monday to Friday, we should be working. We should be crazy. But we should just, when you're self-employed, you can have a day off whenever you want. You can work whenever you want. It's half term. I have to be there for my son. We've been out this week. We've had some play dates. Been out with my auntie. We met his little girlfriend in the week, and we had some food. Went to like a little barn. It was just really nice. And it's like I'm bored. But the weather is so bitter. I never felt so cold in my life, and it's so windy today. I'm like, we're just having a day, and I'm not going to feel guilty because I was out last night. My husband took him to trampoline park, and they had a McDonald's afterwards. So he gets a lot of things. I mean, you're very, very lucky to do what you do. But you do feel like guilt. But it is nice. He's got lots of toys, lots to do at home. I said, just relax and we'll take you out on Saturday. So I'm like, just relax. You can speak to your friends. It is really hard when you've got a child with additional needs because they can't just go out and play. Like at 14 and a half, I was out playing with my friends all day. He can't do that. He's not able to do that. He has to be quite vulnerable. So I need to make sure that, he's watched and he's cared for and he's looked after. And he's a bit of a mummy's boy as well. But we can watch movies. We're going to watch some movies later. And yeah, so anyway, let's get on to the actual episode. So I just wanted to give thanks Stephen. It was an amazing night. Just loved it. And meeting him in person, it was just like, yeah, it's like my big brother. Just feel like I've known him forever. And he's just as nice in person as he is online. I think sometimes you can build this relationship online. It doesn't mean it's not going to be the same. He lives in London, so we've kind of invited ourselves to London, me and my mum. So I was like, you can show us London. So that'll be really nice as well. It's hard, isn't it? You don't always get time to do things, but I was like, no, this is my opportunity to actually meet him because he wasn't too far away and show my support as well. If I can support people, I will. So let's go on to the actual episode. Are you ready for this one? Powerful visualization techniques to manifest your biggest wins. I think we all get to that point where we're just like, I just want some new manifestations to come through, me included. Sometimes I'm daily manifesting and things happen, but I'm not putting things out at the minute like it's really big. And I'm like, I'm feeling in that mood now to really manifest some big wins. Like I was saying to Stephen last night, I was saying the other week, I was like, I've been doing some manifestations and I wanted to do 2 press releases. I wanted to do something for my local paper. So I submitted just 2 articles because I wasn't sure if they was going to be submitted and they both got posted online. So I was like, oh, I've done that one now. So I think I have small manifestations that I want to do every day because I'm kind of like that. I'm quite a fluid person, quite consistent every day, just rolls quite smoothly for me. I need that consistency. I need that fluidity in my life with my son. I don't want anything crazy. I need quite a calm as it can be life to get by and to be able to run my business effectively. But why can I not manifest big wins? I have manifested some big wins. I mean, what else can I manifest now? I'm so happy with everything that's going on in my life. I'm so grateful every day. I don't always need big things all the time. It is nice. We always want more money and we always want more holidays. But when you're content and happy, we forget that. We don't always appreciate that. We don't always reflect on that. So it's really important that we do look at what we've got. And this is why daily gratitude does come into it. So we're writing down. And a lot of my daily gratitude is the same. My health, my family, my son, my mum, my dad, my partner, my salon, my clients. Every day these people, and I've added different things in this week. And my cousin, she's been going through some chemotherapy treatment, and she's on my gratitude this week, and she's, going through that with her as well is big. And we're just, I'm grateful that she's getting through this and she's feeling well. So there's other things that, sometimes other focuses can come into play, especially when it's about health and your family. I think sometimes we can get a little bit carried away in life of all this craziness, all this confetti world and all this, everything can just be quite big and crazy online, and then bang, something pulls you back down to earth. There is a lot of real life stuff going on, and you don't always see that. People don't always portray that online, and we don't always put our personal business online because that's what we don't do, and we don't put other people's businesses online. But I do try to promote positivity, and I try to encourage my listeners and my busy mums to live an easy life. I want them to manifest their best life. Not everyone's going to manifest the same, but I want you to manifest the life that you deserve. I want you to be happy. I want you to be successful. I want you to be, if you're in love, I want you to be happy in your relationship. I want to see you grow and flourish and nourish yourself. I want to see self-care going on, because we're the best versions of ourselves when we are manifesting effectively, and we are the best parents, we are the best partners. So manifesting for me is just a huge part of my life, and I feel like if I didn't have manifesting, I could maybe be a negative person. I mean, I've never really been a negative person. We all have our ups and downs where we can get a little bit sorry for ourselves, but manifesting, I think, is a really good tool to keep us on track. So we're going to dive into how to use visualization to manifest your biggest wins. So whether you're trying to attract success, abundance, love, or confidence, the way you see and feel your goals in your mind directly impacts how they show up in your life. So by the end of this episode, you'll have powerful, actionable visualization techniques to start manifesting faster and with more ease. So why visualization works in manifestation. Visualization isn't just wishful thinking. It's a scientifically backed technique used by the elite athletes, entrepreneurs, and high achievers, and it programs their subconscious mind for success. And here's why it works. So your brain can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined event and a real one. So put this into perspective is when your brain doesn't know if it's actually carried it out yet. So we can start programming our mind that it has already happened. We can start seeing, so looking at sports performance, we've got something coming up. Say if we're going for a run, we're going to win a run. I'm a runner, just going this direction at the minute. And we actually see it. We can actually win it before we've actually gone to do it. We can go to the event in our heads. We can literally get in our car from our home. We can drive there. We will have our gear on. We'll have our drinks. We'll have our performance, products, what we need. We are going to get to the event. We're going to greet people. We're going to smile at people. We're going to get in where we're going to be running. So you think about when we go to take out an action, we always think about how we're going to win it. How are we going to feel? How is your mind? If your mind isn't right for a race, then you're not probably going to win the race. Your mind will play tricks on you. So we can actually win something before it actually happens. We have to have that belief that we are going to do the best of our ability to win that race. And if we win the race, then we've already visualised how we're going to feel, what's going to come after the race, how are people going to congratulate us. We all know how it feels, because we wouldn't be going for it if we didn't know what was to follow, because we wouldn't want an achievement if we didn't want the feelings around an achievement. Visualization activates the reticular activating system, the RAS, which I've spoke about on a couple of episodes ago. So if you are new to the podcast, go back and listen to that. There's 2 parts to that one. And it helps you notice opportunities aligned with your goals. So I think we start focusing, homing in on what we really want. That's how we see signs of where we need to go, divine timing. Are we meant to be there? I think if we are in tune and intuitive to what we want, we feel is good. When it starts to feel really icky, I feel like sometimes that's when we've stepped out of alignment. And it also shifts your energy and emotions into a high vibe magnetic state. So it makes you stronger, matching you for your desires. Visualization is so powerful. We can go to a place before we've even got there and actually experience it before we've actually experienced it, and actually think, do I really want this? How do I feel? Like Stephen, say, let's go for instance, he was going on stage and he's never been to Manchester, so it's completely different. He was visualising what he's going to be walking into, how he's going to feel, the audience he's going to be looking at. And imagine all the emotions he was going to feel and what was going to feel like after, when we're all clapping and we're all cheering and we're all congratulating him. You have to take your place there, your head there sometimes, to feel the feels, because I think that's how we prepare ourselves for the outcome of the event. If you want to attract success, you need to start seeing it in your mind first. So how to visualize effectively for manifestation? So we do need to get clear on your desired outcome. You can't manifest what you're unsure about, so be specific. So instead of, I want more money, say, I'm receiving X amount every month in my business. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, say, I'm a best-selling author with a thriving coaching business. Because we can't just say, I want to be successful, because what does that mean to the universe? Successful in what? We've got to make the universe, we've got to raise our vibrations to, like when I published my book and I started to manifest and what my book's going to look like, what I started to look at the colours, how's it going to feel, what are people going to think, and people were shocked when I published a book. But I knew I was always manifesting. I was writing every day in my book what I wanted. I'm going to write my book. This is what it's going to be about. I started to make plans. I made it become a reality. I think once I started to bring it into my life, it started to happen. And that's how I was able to self-publish and write my own book and do my front and back cover and everything else that goes along with it. I did it and I put it out there. And it's just crazy when you start to take aligned action. So your clarity creates a stronger signal to the universe. So what we need to do is engage all your senses. So to make your visualization more powerful, immerse yourself in the scene. So we need to see the details. Where are you? What are you wearing? And who's around you? We need to hear the sounds, the applause, the laughter, your voice saying, I did it. Feel the emotions, confidence, excitement and gratitude. Smell and taste any relevant sensations, the ocean breeze, if you're manifesting a beach home, or the taste of your celebratory drink. The more real it feels, the faster it manifests. Why can we, even just manifesting, and even if it's not happening yet, or it hasn't happened yet, isn't it nice just to wander, to think about the things we want? Like you say, we might want a new holiday home, we might just want a new car. When I visualised my car, I was thinking of the white car on the front. It was a big car, how it felt, how I felt when I looked at my car, what was inside going to look like. It's going to have heated seats, heated steering wheel. And I was saying to my mum, coming back from Manchester last night, I was like, God, do you remember my first car? Because my mum said, you're so brave driving, and it was dark. And I'm like, yeah, but look at this car. It's got all built-in sat-navs. It shudders my car if I step out of line, if anybody comes near me. It's got lots and lots of specs on the car. I haven't got a clue how they all work at all. I need to get practicing, but I don't really drive far in the car. Sat nav. And my mum I said, do you remember my first car? She went, yes, I do remember your first car. And it's funny, isn't it? But I did used to manifest. I mean, I know it's a long time since I've got a really expensive car. But, where I grew up, and my mum brought me up on a run, and looking at my first car, and I wouldn't have appreciated a really expensive car then. It wouldn't have aligned to where I was, to my current, work. I feel like we have to grow and evolve and achieve, and we have to climb that ladder or that small hill to get to where we want to. And then we look back at our old life and old things and we laugh, don't we? And if you're still in that same spot 20 years ago with that same ratty car, then we need to ask ourselves, why have we still got that old ratty, rusty car? Why haven't we manifested our best life? Why? This is about self-belief. Like, why are we telling ourselves we are not worthy of this new car? We might want to get a new job. We might want to be able to manifest more money. We need to look at it in a way that's going to be achievable for us. We can, no matter where you come from, we can achieve whatever we want to achieve. It doesn't matter. We shouldn't let where we come from or anything get in the way of what we need. We just need to make our manifestations real, immerse ourselves in the feelings and the thoughts and the celebrations around it. It just feels really nice when we all manifest lying on a beach with a cocktail, and then we end up next minute we're on a holiday. So it just goes to show, doesn't it? We can't manifest things if we want to. We're all worthy of better things in our lives, and things that cost more luxuries, I would say. Like the luxuries that I have now, I would never ever be able to afford them years ago. I wouldn't have probably really spent that money on that. I would have spent money on other things, but it's just been a gradual process, I think, for me, for everything that I have achieved. I've only been really powerfully manifesting, I would say, since lockdown. I've always been quite a consistent manifester. Before manifesting, that was like a big word and it was all online on TikTok. I was always setting a goal, like a college course or, like something that I really wanted, and I would always achieve it. There wasn't a time where I didn't go and achieve it. I did everything that I set out to do and I did it. But when manifesting started to become powerful is when I launched my podcast and my world just opened up and I started networking, I started collaborating, and it just becomes crazy. And then I started self-publishing and doing my books. But little old me, if I talked to, there was a trend going around and I kind of like did a little post about it. And if I was to speak to 18, 20-year-old self, I can see myself now with my curly perm, my fringe. I looked a little bit chubby. I used to have gold rings on and long earrings, and I used to walk around like, when you look at it, I'm like, Lindsay, like, why did you behave like that? Because I was a bit of a townie. I was from a town, and we all hung around together. We all went in the park and chilling, and it's different. And then I started to become older, and I started to do my, went to college and do my qualifications. I started to work. I started to see the world so differently. I had different relationships. I just started to grow. I used everything that people used to say you could not achieve to actually achieve it. So I think sometimes people's thoughts are embedded in our life. We can either dwell on it and let it be negative, or we can use it as a positive. And you know what, people used to say to me, you're just a hairdresser, you just do this. I'm like, you know what, I'll just show you. I will always do hairdressing. I absolutely love hairdressing, but doesn't mean that I can't progress in the podcasting world and and write more books. I've done this. I have not had a business coach. I have done this on my own. I have not invested. I've just self-taught everything, and that's what I do. I teach people now because I am funny about who I would invest in, because there's a lot of blaggers about, and you just know, don't you? I think when you're in that world, I think I always encourage people to go and try and do it yourself before investing. I think it's really important that we start to do a lot of the work ourselves, and before we choose the right person to help us. So like obviously the self-publishing and the podcasting, we can learn a lot ourselves, but somebody like me can help you just get that little bit further. Wish I had me. I probably would have published my podcast like probably about a year and a half before. So yeah, so let's move on. So use a vision board or a mental movie. So a vision board creates a physical or digital board with images that represent your dream life. So I've got lots of things on my vision board on my phone, and I look at them every day, and my son always says, is that what you're manifesting, mummy? And you know what, they're just things that are some bigger goals on there and some goals that I kind of am already achieving. So I do need to think a little bit bigger, think myself sometimes. I do need to push myself, of course. And a mental movie is close your eyes and replay a movie of your future success as if it's already happened. So I encourage you today just to think about what you really want. What are you angry because you are getting what you need to get? So if we start to look at this movie, this mental movie, what it looks like, how do we feel? So when we come out of them three feelings, then we need to start writing down, how am I going to get there? Because I think once you've had a taste for it in your mental movie, we can actually start letting it happen. We can start thinking, let's take an action. Even if it's going to take 5 years or 1 year, let's start. Let's start working towards this. So we need to do this daily, especially before bed, to program your subconscious mind. This is why subliminals are really good. You can get them all over the place. They do them on like Spotify for free sometimes, or you can buy them really cheap. I think it just really works with your subconscious. And I think it's really nice when we are laid down in bed because we're in our relaxed state. And that's the time we do our reflecting and our thinking, because we've not achieved something that day. We think about it, and when people say to you, I've been up all night tossing and turning, thinking about different things, that's because we know we haven't achieved what we want to. But sometimes we need to, if we do an action and we do some time blocking and we make a goal, like a SMART goal for the week, we're not going to bed thinking about it because we've brain dumped it. We can go to bed, relaxing, think, well, actually, I am working towards this goal this week. This is what I've done this week. Tuesday, I'm going to be doing this to do my goal, and Wednesday, I'm going to be doing this. So we're not going to bed thinking about it, because we can give ourselves so many to-do lists in our head and it just becomes so overwhelming. You need to embody the energy of having it now. So act as if your manifestation is already real. Speak like the person who has already achieved it. Make decisions based on your future successful self. Feel the gratitude now as if it's already happened and it's already yours. We need to just feel it. Will shift your vibration to align with your desires, speeding up the manifestation process. Sometimes you ever feel like things are just going a bit stale. I do this all the time. I think, if it's just quiet, bobbing along really nicely and we can forget, I still do my manifestations every day. But I'm not like thinking bigger. I'm like, why am I not thinking bigger? Because sometimes we can be afraid, and I'm going to go on to this next. There are some common mistakes that block manifestations. So doubt and limiting beliefs. If you don't believe it's possible, you're blocking it. Reframe your mindset. I am worthy and capable of achieving this. Inconsistency. This is a big thing, especially as busy mums. Manifestation is a daily practice, not a one-time thing. You might just be super lucky, manifest something and not manifest something for 6 to 12 months. And then you can actually lose interest and think, actually, it was a fluke. Manifestation doesn't work. We need to be doing it daily. Just feel like it's just a daily task of your life, like brushing your teeth. That's what I do. Focusing on the how. Your job is to visualise the end result and take inspired action, not stress about how it's going to happen, because we can just stress like crazy and we think, well, actually, how am I going to achieve this? This is not going to happen. That is already a limiting belief. So, final thoughts and some action steps for you. So try this challenge. For the next 7 days, I want you to visualise your dream life 5 to 10 minutes before bed. Feel it, believe it, embody it. Then watch for the signs and synchronicities and let me know how it's going. Write it all down, and when we are writing in our journal, and put your journal in one book, and then you could always do a section. I have 2 books and I've got all my books on Amazon that you can look at. I have my gratitude book, which I write my gratitude. I keep that completely separate to manifestations in my journal, because I will write things down, and even things every day. I will think about my nan at the minute, and I will talk about that. I will put on, even though I am manifesting and doing the things that I want to, try to use manifestation to help me with grief. But I've not let the grief take over and stop me manifesting. I feel like if I didn't have all this in place, I really don't know where I would be with my with my grief and my mindset and how it's going, because I do see people that really struggle with grief, because I feel like they don't have any hope for anything for their future and what's next. And I know my nan wouldn't want me to, I'm sat here recording this, looking at a picture, and I've got everything around her that reminds me keep going, because she was so proud of me. Every day she would tell me and say, I love you, and and you're doing so well, and just to think I was able to show her all this before she went, it's just incredible. So why would I not keep manifesting? Why would I not keep doing what I need to do? I just need my life to just keep growing, keep evolving, keep in alignment, and I just need it to keep me happy, as well as I want you to as well. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you for tuning in for that one. I know it was a little bit heavy today, and I do like to come back to really good manifesting episodes, because it's really important that we can get a little bit stagnated and we can forget sometimes. Even I look at like older episodes and I think, wow, I've not talked about that in so long, because there is so much about manifesting. But my book, which is available on Amazon, it's very good for beginners. It's good for people that have already manifested. It is my way of how I manifest. It's a strategic way of manifesting, because it's really important that there is a strategic side of manifesting, because I need actions. I need to set some goals. I'm not a fluffy person, as in I'm just going to expect all this to come to me, because it has to be aligned. The universe needs to make sure that I'm going to be able to cope with whatever's coming my way. And especially as a mum, I feel like the universe watches me, because it knows I have a child with additional needs. It knows what I'm going to be able to cope with, what I'm going to be able to nurture, what I'm going to be able to handle. I can handle a lot more than probably a lot of people, but I need to make sure that it fits in my life and my family. And we need hope, I think, sometimes. We need something to work towards in our lives, because if we don't, then I don't feel I would have any fulfillment. I wouldn't have anything to look forward to. I get quite excited about manifesting. I think, right, what am I going to be doing this week? What are my goals? And I think it's really nice that we look back on our journals and look at where we've come and how far we've come. Self-reflection for me and self-development has helped me so much. And if I can do the things that I can do, little old me from Preston, it's just, if I'd have knew all these techniques, you are in such a privileged position, especially the younger generation now. I mean, I don't know how old all my listeners are, but if I'd have had this scope of knowledge back then, my life would have amplified about 4 times. But then when I think about that, I do think about, I wouldn't have met the people at the right time. I would have elevated too quick, and I didn't want that. I need it to be a natural, relaxed transition in my life. I want to be able to cope with what's coming next. So anyway, happy manifesting. Let me know how this visualization is going for you. You can share with me what are you visualizing. Sometimes it's just really nice to give ourselves something to look forward to and just immerse yourself, just escape, put some chilling music on, take yourself to a place. And there is in my link tree, there's some meditations in there. So if you just press in, it should just play straight away. And I think there's about 3 in there. There's a manifestation one you can listen to, and you can just do your visualization with that, and you'll just hear me talking with a few sound waves in the background, like beach waves. So yeah, that's me. Anyway, I'll let you go now, and I will speak to you all in the week. I've got some great guests coming up, so I'm really excited about that. So I will see you next time. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you feel inspired to take action and manifest the life you deserve. Don't forget to come and join me over on social media and Instagram at Busy Mums Fitness Corner for more tips, motivation and behind the scenes. And also be sure to check out my books on Amazon. They're designed to help you manifest your dreams and grow. And if you're ready to take the next step and work with me, you can head over to my link tree for all the details. Let's make magic happen together. So until next time, keep manifesting and stay amazing.